to this second day of the workshop. Thank you for being again with us. I know it's tough, it's Sunday, you know, you wish that you could sleep a little bit longer, but here we are all together once again for half a day of this workshop, which again we hope is going to be useful for you. And let me start by something very simple. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, because usually on day 2, that's the opportunity for me to give fines, you know, because then I go and I say, okay, you're late. We said you're 5 minutes late. Everybody was on time. So you followed the rules. So congratulations, you know. That's not all the time. So, you know, then I will have to explain back at the office why I come back with empty pockets. But that's okay, you know, that's okay. So thank you for being with us and, you know, take the most of the day today. Today is going to be on sponsorship and more generally income generation. So my colleagues Gustavo and May will take over. But before we do that, I would like to pass the floor to Jeff because, you know, yesterday unanimously you wanted Jeff to be back. So we found a way to bring him back for 15 minutes to recap on the previous day, you know. So Jeff, the floor is yours.
Merci beaucoup. That's my best French, it really is. Okay, good morning, everyone. Morning. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Morning. Good morning. Hey, there you go. Oh, good morning. Very good. You're all very, very welcome here to our lecture. We said we would finish at 12:30. We've decided 7 o'clock tonight. Is that okay? Yes. Directly to the match, then we go. So what we did yesterday, and it's easy to forget, but what we want you to do is to do something. There's everybody give Marcel, give him a round of applause. The whole way from Albania. Come on, give him a round of applause. Where you played, where all did you play? Your game, you know?
Third position.
Whereabouts?
Sorry?
What club?
Goga Basket.
Come on, give him a round of applause. We met in, we met online with Radmilla doing Time Out, a project called Time Out. And we still keep in touch. Isn't it amazing the way that we can do that? And Elvira as well. Hello, Elvira. Cuckoo. So it's always good that whenever we can meet different people, and this is the benefit of events like this. Don't just go out of this room. Chit-chat to each other about learnings and exchanging knowledge. You know, off the court, we can be friends. Maybe not on the court, but off the court, we can be friends. So exchange those learnings with each other. So what we did yesterday, we talked about branding. Yeah. And we talked about your logo. What does your logo mean? What does it represent? We talked about your tone of voice. What is your tone of voice? And think about if I said to you, Mercedes, what comes into your mind? If I said Mercedes, what comes into your mind? Popular brand. What comes into your mind when I say Mercedes? Luxury. What comes in? What? High class. Do you drive a Mercedes? How do you know it's luxury then if you don't drive one? Everybody get that? Everybody get that? Yeah. So what we've just done in 2 minutes is we've talked about Mercedes, and the words are cheap. No. The words are brakes. Yes. German technology. Yep. There you go. So when you think of Mercedes, you don't think of cheapness, you don't think of low quality, you think of high quality, luxury, quality, maybe even high price. And as I was saying, But maybe people have never driven a Mercedes, but they still think those names. And what are they? Are they positive or negative? They're positive. What does people think about your brand? What does people think about your brand, of your club? If you said to them, name me 3 things that come into your mind about when they see your logo, what are those 3 things? Are they positive? And there's a way that Mercedes do it. Not only do they mention in their advertising quality, luxury, but also they deliver it in the actual physical product. Yeah? So we talked about the logo. We talked about the tone of voice, getting your tone of voice across. Is your tone of voice playful? Is it engaging? Or is it more formal? And in a way, a federation's tone of voice should be more formal. But as a club, you can be more informal, more relaxed, more friendly, more entertaining. So that's what we talked about. After that, what did we talk about? After logo and branding, we talked about, what was the second thing that Gustavo and me have talked about? Before that? Yes. Digital. Yeah. We talked about TikTok. We talked about all of the social media. So we talked about all the different areas that comes from creating not only a content plan, but also how you get out to your market. And you should be communicating regularly to your market the messages that you're wanting to get out, especially those related to your brand. Then in the last section with myself, we talked about game day operations. So we talked about ensuring you have the key roles in place. So what are those key roles? Anybody want to shout out? Key roles, what were they? Venue manager, what else? Team manager, what else? Medical manager, what else? Marketing, yeah, what else? Security. And remember, when we did that, we chatted with Radmilla and Advera. Go and talk to Radmilla, because the knowledge and experience that she has is just huge. So why does this person do these roles? How do they do it? What type of person should that be? Remember then we talked about creating a checklist. Checklist -3, -2, -1, game day +1. And remember we talked about maybe can we put down a checklist for your club? Why? It means you don't forget things. And if you happen to be sick, you can give the checklist to someone to follow. Then what we focused on is engaging the fans. Do you remember we put most people, I think with Florian, we maybe chatted around, it was 50% or slightly less was around a 5 out of 10. And do you know what? That's okay. That's a real honest assessment. But that means you've got progress to make. But you cannot just do a fan engagement on game day, do it once and that's it. On game day, it must be consistent, especially linked to your brand that Gustavo and me have talked about. And remember, we talked about fan engagement outside of game day, deep relationships. So those are the things that we talked about. The areas we want you to take away is in no particular order. Number 1, review your logo. Everybody write this down. Review your logo. What are those things you want people to talk about? What are those 3 things that you want people to talk about when they see your logo? What is your tone of voice? So review your logo, agree the tone of voice. Agree your logo, review your logo, and agree the tone of voice. Number 3, then look at your content plan regarding digital. Many people said we will start TikTok, Before you start TikTok, look down what content you'll create and who's going to do it. Don't just create TikTok. What is the content? Who's going to do it? Then create it. And then, number 4, write this down, a checklist on game day. Write down your checklist on game day. It would be even better if you did -3, 2, 1 game day +1. But if you don't want to, that's okay. Find out and write down your game day checklist. And number 5, the final, write down your event, your fan engagement activity for pre, during, and post the game. Do you remember we come up with all of the ideas? So continue to do that. Look at those ideas for engaging your fans pre, during, and post. Okay, so that's what we did. The reason why we're doing a recap is just to re-emphasize the messages. Branding, digital, game day, operations, fan day, engagement. We would have to say there's templates that you've all been given. Please use those templates. So here are the templates. So for example, there's your fan engagement plan. Go and fill them in. Here is your game day checklist. Go and fill that in so you can take this away. We have been really pleased with the knowledge that you've got, but also the way that you're exchanging it. Well done. Well done. But keep learning. Thank you. Gustavo.
Nope. Thank you. Morning. So, we will talk about money today. So, to start, let's do an exercise, okay, with everyone in your tables to start to channel the discussion today and create the best environment according to what you're looking to do. And we want to hear how you are planning to continue generating income for your organization. So, the agenda for today will be, we will speak first about the opportunities, a bit about the sponsorship strategy, tools, very important, and we will close a bit with CSR and public investment in an order that we might shift in the way so we can convey the information. So before we go through the key considerations when we're gonna speak about income generation, what we want you to do is to write down the top 2 main income generation initiatives that you have in your club, okay? How you make money in your club. What you're doing now. That's top 2. Second, in the post-its, please, in the post-it.
Because we're going to get you to move. Yeah.
And second, one initiative of income generation that maybe you are not doing, but you would like to pursue, okay? Anything that you believe that might generate revenue for your club, but you are not doing it now. Clear? You have, yeah, every individual, please, from every person representing every club.
And when you have them done, what we'd like you to do is on this pillar, stick the 2 things where you're currently generating most of your income. And on that pillar, stick the one where you'd like to generate income, but you don't currently do it.
So we have, 5 minutes. We can start now.
It's actually very,
So we'll be taking note from what they post there. We group them, okay.
Is it clear? Any questions? Yeah, clear.
It's clear? All clear?
Is it clear enough? All, yeah.
You're just 2 today? They gave up. Clear? It's you in the video you show me. It's you speaking in the stage. Nice. A lot of people. But you showed 3 trophies, not 2, 3 trophies. Was the cup the league? Ah, okay. It was a big celebration. Oh, nice. Okay, okay. I didn't get that. Big party.
If we group them a bit, yeah, it's a little bit hard because they're together.
We're done. All clear here? You finish? One more? All here clear? Done. Thank you. Here? Thank you. You guys, you do good. All here? Thank you.
That's both as well, isn't it? Sponsored.
Maeve, let me know.
Okay, one more minute. Okay. Institutional is probably that's sponsored. Okay. It's kind of both as well, isn't it?
Yes.
In the middle, yeah, kind of somewhere in there.
Like this?
Good. And let's just group these maybe. Merchandise. International sponsors, merchandise. Marketing. Maybe put that kind of there. Okay. All right. Gustavo, I think we're ready.
Good.
So
Thank you all for the quick brain. So,
firstly, on the existing situation,
yeah,
there's a lot of sponsors, I would say. So
Sponsorship.
Yeah, a lot of sponsors. And then next to that, there's municipality.
municipality. So, local funds, government. Okay.
Yeah, local government and grants, which I guess is subsidy, same thing. Then there's a little bit of donors are mentioned, ticket sales, and obviously donors, I guess, are mentioned different to sponsors, so they're giving a donation but without expecting anything in return. And ticket sales is mentioned once or twice, 3 times.
Ticket,
Merchandise is mentioned once. Other marketing is mentioned think that covers the existing.
What is the last one? Other marketing.
Just marketing in general, yeah.
Market, that will be like, who wrote other marketing? Sponsorship, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Nothing different, okay. Nobody will make money with TikTok? Nobody's doing money with TikTok yet?
Well, that's mentioned on the other
I
side.
develop, okay. Nobody's doing it. But actually, currently, with YouTube or Facebook, nobody's making any income with digital channels. Nobody is actually getting anything from Facebook.
According to what I know, I mean, making money from Facebook is
Okay.
based on instant article when you have, but this is more for
Based
the
on what, sorry?
instant article.
Okay,
But it's more related to the media. I don't know if we can
on
use
the
it.
media
for-
side, okay. No problem. Okay, so to develop,
So development opportunities, merchandise is mentioned a lot,
okay?
so that's up there. Then sponsorship is mentioned,
Okay,
and maybe in the context of landing a big sponsor or an international sponsor or a sponsor investment, so that's mentioned.
okay,
Then ticketing is probably next. Ticketing, I would say next. Yeah, then, well, memberships is mentioned.
membership as club memberships or as ticket holder? Ticket holders, okay, season, okay,
Season
season
ticket.
ticket.
Beverages,
Beverages,
so food and
F&B,
beverage.
so
F&B.
food and beverage in the
Yeah.
stadium, okay.
Here also social media is mentioned, specifically TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then player transfers.
Okay, interesting. With player transfer is like sending players abroad
Yeah.
or between selling
Selling
players?
players.
Okay.
And marketing is mentioned as well, but I think that probably encompasses
Yeah.
everything. So
Something I'm missing here that you would like to discuss today or that you are looking to know a bit more and if we know something. Betting. Yeah, why not? It is legal here to work with betting? No. Depends?
depends who you're talking to.
Depends on how you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Clear. Okay, are we missing something here from what you would like to develop? Because the idea is that we run this session based on what you are looking to understand a bit better. It's difficult that everybody will get the same information or because all the clubs are at different levels, but the idea is that we can talk about, we can speak about merch, sponsorship for sure, tickets I think less than we expected, but we could talk about it for sure. Sorry? Please.
When we are on the tickets, I think most of the clubs in Super League
Okay.
we do usually, but the clubs that are in second division, I think they are more interested, focused to bring the people into the venue instead
Okay.
of making money from them. If I'm not wrong, maybe someone else can.
Okay, but it's kind of fun engagement and then to monetize from the funds. Okay, that we are here. Food and beverage on site, this is a very interesting operation. Social media, clear, we spoke about that yesterday, we can speak a bit more about today. Selling players, I will confess, it's not my area of expertise. This is very, I will say this is a different area to talk. And betting, yes, but since if it's not legal here, I won't speak about betting today. But of course, it's an interesting category that we need to waive properly and to understand that there are other ways to monetize from betting, not necessarily from promoting betting, but from all the data, all the video data that could be used for these companies that you can get benefit from, or the league. Normally, normally we are advised to do it through the league because it's better deals for the club. Okay, missing something? are we clear? We're setting the tone for the day. So this is a moment to discuss if there's something new that you would like to not only discuss, but would you like to open a conversation? We will do it. So to talk about this, we need to consider a few things before going there. So the first one is, what are the opportunities that we have to generate income? So game day, first pillar. What are we doing to make money out of games? Okay? We spoke that there are a few things that you're already doing, like selling tickets, like selling merchandise. That's very good. Merchandise could be game day and outside. But there are other things to do, like hospitality, for example. Who has done a program of hospitality with their club? Hospitality is a VIP club. Is the access where you sell high-level tickets for special food, full experience. They have a parking spot waiting for them. They have a person who join them, welcome them to their suite, a special place. Many stadiums, they don't have the suite. No problem. This is not an excuse to not to do VIP. There is always possible to have a room where you welcome them, just a different space where you make them feel that they are at a different level. It's very popular to use courtside seats to do that, but if the court doesn't allow courtside seat, because it happens a lot, that's not an excuse to not to have VIP tickets. You can have center tickets in the best space in the arena, reserve that area, make it a bit more spacious, and for those tickets charge 5, 10, even 20 times the price of normal ticket, because it's asked for special people that could be either your sponsors or people who are just willing to pay higher for that. And that's just a separate, operationally, it's a bit, it's just a differentiation from what you're doing with your tickets, but the value that you add and the perception that you build from having that opportunity also allows that important people within your network can access and experience what you are offering as a club, okay? It is a very sustainable way of revenue, because you can start by investing what you're making from it. You don't need to put that much money to create a VIP environment. Just from what you sell on the tickets, you invest on it, and very soon can be profitable. Okay, so it is a very important way to make additional revenue from game day. Tickets, it is a clear one. There are many strategies to build on tickets. There are platforms. There are ways to push better the ticket sales. But in this case, whatever you are doing, my advice is that you check what is your strategy around it. Again, who's the audience that you're looking to sell those tickets, how you are communicating to them, how they are reacting to those promotions on all of those initiatives in order to make the stadium full, because the idea is that you build people that are more connected to the stadium. If it's the price is an issue, if the distribution is an issue, if the transaction is an issue, there are now more and more technologies to make that a very simple process. The trend that we are seeing with clubs all around the world is to go paperless. I don't know if still you have a physical ticket, but there are now platforms that are not even expensive. They just charge versus transactions, so they don't cost you money, that you go to and you transition from having a physical ticket to have something on your mobile or have a digital version on how to access the stadium. It is a process that takes a bit of thinking, but within one season it's very easy to implement. Food and beverage, it is depends on what you want to offer as an experience, okay? The typical fast food approach for the stadium, it is the most common, but we have seen many clubs that say, I don't want to offer burgers and hot dogs, I want to offer a good experience for the family to have other things to offer. I want to offer healthy food. That's also possible, but again, it needs to connect with the experience that you are trying to show to your people. Normally, for clubs that are not, they don't have a department on doing this, it's very popular just to license this to people who is expert on managing inventory, managing food. Business is very different from running a club. That's a bottom line. So normally, it is very common, and it's okay to talk to a restaurant that they take care of the operation, and then split revenue or work on minimum guarantee basis. There are many ways to make sure that that becomes a revenue opportunity, not only for you, but for your potential partner. If it's a sponsor, it's even better. If it's not, there are ways to work on it. But it is very important to have it, because it is frustrating when you're going to a stadium and you don't have anything to drink. It's when you go to a stadium and have fun and you take in your family, but then you don't have anything to offer for them. So it's very important to keep it within the strategy that you have to generate income. Then lottery, this is a way to make sure that people contribute or are involved, engaged in the stadium with a potential prize, with a potential way of winning season tickets or VIP access or behind the scene access. There are many ways to engage fans in the stadium in a way that even they put some more money from their ticket to get the aspiration of winning something nice. And then based on how the facilities that you have available, there are many ways to do that in a better way. Hospitality is clear. I think this is, if you don't have hospitality at the moment, it's very important to consider. It takes an operation. It also could be a license to a third party, people who is expert on delivering this type of services. But it's very important to open that new way of accessing a new type of people, because the fan that will be going there to sing and jump all the game is very different from the one who wants to visit and invite their friends to have a different experience there when they are in a position where not everybody is available to go. Okay? Sponsorship. We heard yesterday that the situation of since 2 years, sponsorship, it's give an opportunity for a sports organization to approach companies, and there is a tax situation for them where you are not after their money, but after their government money, which is a very good news. This is heaven for any sport organization. So if you are in that situation, use it as much as you can, because it's not like that in many cases. But this is just the first step, to get that first investment, but then how to keep working with those sponsors to make even better and for them to value what they're doing with you is what we will discuss today. Okay? Getting that money is just one step, but make them feel that they are investing on you and they are winning something because they are working with you. That's a very different one. Okay? Based on sponsorship, we have all the inventory that you will have available. Perimeter advertisement is like the very basic one, and we will go through some advice or some basic elements or basic tips around how to make sure that perimeter advertising is made in the best way possible. In terms of events, here another way of doing to generate revenue would be to create a gala, to have a dinner with the players and particular guests, maybe only with sponsors or with people who are able to pay for something on it. But this depends on how are you building your stars. This depends on how you are building this moment where only people with access, in this case, selling a space for an event, can make sure that they are there. If it's a special celebration, if it's a yearly event, the anniversary, all these type of events can build, and they don't need to be expand. They could be a source of revenue if they are presented in the proper way.
Gustavo,
Yes,
can I ask
please.
a question? Just sorry to interrupt you, but see the next one, before you tell people what it is, I'd love to know, does anybody know what CSR is or what it stands for? Does that ring a bell to anybody? Marcel,
No.
go for it.
Corporate social responsibility.
Absolutely. Can you explain it?
Yes, it's basically every company, every club, every organization needs to have a responsibility for the society when it participates. So it can be like helping some group of people that are with disabilities or something like different, or making a park for the community or something like that. And it's an investment for the community that you are taking all the investments and you are working with.
Exactly. So it's a type of sponsorship, but against a societal need.
And gives you the good name, for example. Then all the big companies, for example, in Europe and all over the world have this as a demand to do it.
Yeah, it makes them look good. So, thank
Yes.
you. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, no, no,
It was
please.
interesting to see if it was something that people were familiar with, because we'll speak quite a bit about it
No,
later.
no, yeah, and in CSR, it's a different approach from industry to industry. So if you go to an oil company, which they are normally, they pollute a lot, and their operations are not necessarily very environmentally friendly, normally they will have a CSR department where they try to give back to their community where they are located. So that could be a good target for a CSR. But if you go to a hospital or if you go to a clinic, maybe they won't have a CSR department because they are doing already a lot of good from their business. So you need to understand what is the environment of the organizations that you have around. Are you with a metallurgic company? Are you working with, what you have close from you is a construction company, if it's a company of textile, if it's a company who produce food, what are the car industry assembly lines, all of those have a different level of impact in the environment, in the society, in the health of the workers. So the ones that are affecting more negatively, more likely they invest more than the ones that are in another direction. So it's very important for you to assess very well where are you and how's the economical movement that you have around. If you're in a city where the biggest company around is food supermarket, or I don't know, a primary source of minerals, or they are in the metallurgic space, the approach is very different. So it is important for you to have that awareness of what's going on around, okay? And that will open you some doors, not only for a potential CSR, which is the first step, but also for a relationship where they will be also getting benefit, not only you only by getting some money, but also being associated with your club, with your values, with the good that you're doing to your community, which is developing basketball. It is very beneficial for them. So it's very important to have a clear, I won't say not only strategy, but a clear action plan to go and approach this type of companies in the right way, okay? Finally, around funds, I think they mentioned already something about membership or season tickets, merchandise, license. I think on those, this is very straightforward. This is, at the end of the day, how much money each fan is spending in their club. And I'm sure you will have some numbers already. How many shirts have you were able to sell? What you could do to sell more shirts, but what other things can you sell, okay? And the idea is, it is to take the best of your fans, but also you need to understand what the fan is willing to give. Okay, if I sold few shirts, I cannot come next year with a fancy special edition shirt which is 10 times the price. Maybe I won't sell any of them because I need to understand the capabilities, the economic possibilities of my club, and maybe special edition shirt is a great idea, but maybe it doesn't fit my fans. Okay, maybe it doesn't fit my community, or like Jeff told them yesterday, they are not fans, they are the people that are with you. Okay. So here in income generation opportunities, maybe I will stop a bit on perimeter advertising because then we won't be able to go back to this. In perimeter advertisement, there are few basic things where you need to become an advisor for your partner. So I understand from what we saw yesterday, many of these clubs have already sponsors. You already have people placing their brands in their LED. And normally what we've heard, and I won't assume that this is the case here, but normally the process is like this. You tell them that they have X amount of seconds, they will send you a file, and you will put that file in the system for the LED, and normally you will see that on site. Or maybe the day before, if they were very, if they meet the deadline, you will see it the day before or 2 days before. What we suggest is that you sit with them and understand what they want to accomplish with that visibility. If they need to if they want to increase their awareness, you need to convey the message in that LED in a different way if they want to activate a promotion, or if they want to make sure that everybody knows that they changed or they have a new image, okay? It is very different. And what we found normally, and we see it day after day, and even with our global partners, is that you have a person without that level of understanding of how the camera is shooting as a basketball, at a basketball game, and how much time it's needed to have a message that you need to become an advisor for them. You need to tell them what is the best for them and what will be your suggestion, because technically they're paying the money, they can put there what they believe is better, but you need to make sure that whatever is, how it's looking in the court is the best possible, okay? So for example, there we have a lot of companies that they have logos that are, I will say, in the vertical form. A logo in a vertical form in an LED is the worst thing can happen. So you need to push to the company to make sure that they provide a landscape version, an horizontal version. Or normally, and this is the tough conversation to have, they need to get rid of the logo and maybe just only use the name of the company. So it is visible and people can remember what is there. Another push that we have always with companies is that if they want new people to know them, they need to tell what they do. If you put a name there, and normally the president or the head of marketing of that organization is very proud to put the name, but nobody knows what that name does, if it's insurance, if it's car company, if it's a dealership, if it's a food brand. If you don't explain it or if you don't put it in a horizontal way, nobody will get it. And this just will be a nice thing that will be behind players, or not even nice, it won't look nice. So it is very important that you become advisors for them and tell them, based on your experience, knowing how the camera works, how the shot is portrayed, you will tell them how to improve the quality of the image that will be there. And put yourself in the position of the brand of what they are looking to do to give that advice. Nice, you can use this in the future, that 85% of camera time is going in my basketball game to the corners. It's never stay in the center. So technically the most valuable spaces that you will have to sell will be the corners of your LED. So try to always make sure that the corner of the LED is where the message is focused. You know, normally the LED goes up to the end of the bench. But normally that part of the bench is either blocked or the camera is just moving. So this is these are little comments that could, when you tell this to a partner, they will understand that you are an expert, that you know how the camera flows, how much time they will have there, and that this type of things creates that credibility that you will need to build with them in order for them to, I would say, not only convey their message, but to activate in the best way possible, okay? In terms of fans, if we go, this is, I would say, a deeper version of what we spoke yesterday about knowing your audience, okay? Knowing the people that you are talking to, knowing the people that it is behind that screen, it is sitting in that stadium, which is watching you through a phone, who they are, what they're doing. We spoke yesterday about analytics in social media. They give you an idea, but it's not only that. And there are many ways to measure this in I would say, in a proactive way, and this should be always kept in mind before you take any decision. If you want to make a special edition shirt, or if you want to take a promotion for your VIPs, you need to understand who you are talking to. So average attendance, very, very accessible information. You have it. How many people are coming to your stadium? Are you going to increase that amount of people by X%? It's very important to understand that starting point. And again, you don't need to pay anyone to give you that number. Social media followers. Everybody should know how many people is there and what are the goals related to it. Broadcast view, this is a challenging one. It's not always accessible. It's not always easy. Our advice is not to invest for it at the first stage, but if the agreement of with the media entity give you that number, great. If not, don't worry about it. You don't need to pay anyone to tell you how many people is watching it. It is a good way would be to ask for it for the media partner, but if there is not a big problem. Age could be a sensitive one because we can have the grassroots team coming and then the fathers of the players also coming, and then if we do an average, it will be a lie. It won't tell us exactly how our audience is. So the best idea is to segment. You can identify different group of people. You have your ultras, you know the ultras, they are in a frame of age, but also you have your family stand. And then this is something we have heard in other clubs, that they divide their areas in their stands for the ultras will go in this section. This will be the family space, and this will be the VIPs. There are ways for you to understand the different audiences that you are having access or that you are creating, and then when you go age, don't do an average. You can have different group of fans, and then you can drive your message according to those levels. Location. Sometimes it's granted, no? Where is your stadium? Where are you located? But then, where are your fans coming from? Are they coming from surrounding the stadium? Do they need to travel more than 10 minutes? Do they need to walk? Do they need to take a bus? What is the journey for them to go to the stadium? Do I have fans that they cannot come because my stadium is far? This is very important to understand where they are based, how they are following. They are doing it from the country, they are doing it from outside the country, how they are connected to us. And sometimes we take this for granted, and it is very important to understand how that flow works. Then we have gender. Social media can help a lot with it, but also you going there to the stadium to understand how many people come. It is very different to talk to a male audience than to talk to a female audience. And for different reasons, you can talk to both in the same case. You saw the video yesterday, it was very focused on a female audience, but then it's a decision that you need to make, knowing what is the division in the gender split in your fan base. Contact details, it's, I would say, the most relevant piece of information that you can get. We're in the era of data and getting first-party data. First-party data means data that you can have access directly to a fan or to that person that it belongs to you. Having followers in Facebook is not first-party. This is followers that Facebook can reach, but you cannot reach, okay? So that, I think that was clear yesterday. So any initiative that you have to access to the people who's coming to your stadium, who's following you, who's doing activities with you, it is very important. And that can start as simple as an Excel spreadsheet where you have all the information from the people who's buying tickets, all the people who's playing in the academy, everybody, all the family members that are related to each of the persons that are going there because they have free tickets. All of those are very important because those are very valuable for potential partners. Of course, following the legal regulations that you are not using that data for purposes that are not complying with the law, but having that information, it is very important. And starting to collect it now, that's it. There are many, many ways to start, and as soon as you start, you will start to build your database for different purposes. Commercial is one of them, but it is one of the best ways to exercise the power of being a club. Basically, you are in a position to gather information, and at this stage, we're only saying contacting details, but then you can start, once you have a good database, then you can start to add more information about habits, about how they purchase, what they do when they don't see basketball, what other sports they see. When you start to go deeper and deeper in the information that you have from your people, you can drive better not only your strategy but also your initiatives around making money. Then benchmarking versus other clubs, that's very simple. You can start here changing tables and see what other clubs are doing and going to other games, not only in your country, but also outside your country. What are the leagues that you're following? What are the references that you have that you believe it's working? And maybe even if you are a fan, you can follow that in order to adapt it to your own environment. It is very important. It should take at least 10% of your time to be always checking what others are doing, not only what Jeff and Maeve and I can share with you in one morning. This is a constant process of learning, and we know that your day is super busy. We understand that you have hundreds of things to do, but try to keep one morning or 2 hours per week just to dedicate to navigate other spaces. Subscribe to newsletter of teams. Go and check what others are doing after their game day, what they do in social, what they do in the stadium, what they offer in the stadium. Go and see other games as a research, or send people from your team or from your family to see what's happening in other games, how it's different from what you want to accomplish, and then build from it learn from it and build those references that will make you be better at what you're doing. And if it's your role to make money, then check who's making good money for to try to adopt as many of those initiatives. Fan surveys, we spoke yesterday. We cannot guess what they want. We need to ask them. Social media provides a good platform for that, but you can also do it face-to-face. If they go to the stadium and you are there, you can ask, and you can check, and you can sit with them, you can see the game with them, and you can hear firsthand what are they expecting from you. Maybe the experience and the strategy and the branding that you're building, maybe it's not aligned what they are doing or what they are expecting. So those processes, those conversations are very important to have in a structured way. Think your questions. Think how that information can influence your job. And this is very important to keep, and we understand again that you have hundreds of functions, but keep a space to listen. Not only to think, because yes, we know that you think and you deliver and you are operative people. You are doers. All of you here are people who do things and works on a club on top of many other things. But before giving that effort, think a bit on how efficient it would be if you know exactly what you are going to deliver. Imagine that you have the answers of an exam, the questions of an exam before going to the exam. It is a bit of that. Try to get that shortcut of knowing what is the people expecting.
Gustavo,
Yeah.
can I do a survey?
Yeah, please.
Who knows their average attendance? Do you know your average attendance? What is it?
1,000.
Excellent.
1,000.
Do you know your average attendance? Huh? 2. Okay, very good. Do you know your average attendance? 700. Okay.
700, okay. Yeah, okay. It's okay, pandemic, but you know, you have a number. You know there's a number. Even
Okay.
it could be better. That's another story.
Social media followers? 16,000. Your social media followers? On Facebook? Your social media followers? 10,000. Okay. Okay. Well, the results of my survey are pretty good. I think people know what their average attendance is and their social media followers. But I would suggest, Gustavo, I don't know if you agree with me, but the top 2 things there, at a minimum, know those. Because basically the reason you need to know all of this is for your sponsors.
Yeah.
So if you chance to meet outside afterwards in the hotel lobby here, a guy who's the representative for a beer company, to use Kenny's example, and he's like, oh, you're from that club, that sounds interesting, tell me. You need to be able to know those 2 things at a minimum.
Yeah, and even if we go deeper, this example is great.
Yeah.
If I'm representing a beer company, and you need to tell me your club, what you will tell me about what information you can share with me about my beer, my brand of a beer, being interested in working on your club. What do you have at hand to share with me? Sorry? Fans. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me hear from here, and then I go with you. What you will tell me first?
We are a newly created club.
Okay.
So it's mostly like we have like I don't know around 200 kids
Okay.
that are under 14.
Okay.
So
I will
we'll
sell
invest in
beer.
the future. Yeah.
I will sell beer to under 14 kids.
No.
Uh-huh. Parents, okay. Okay. So it's a way of that we are starting, and there's a growing market.
Yeah.
It could be a growing market. Okay. Okay. What you would say there was you have fans to sell. Okay. Tell me more. I have another club there with other fans. Why should we invest my new beer made in?
Yes, sure. First of all, it's a bigger number of fans. It's a concentration of fans in one place.
Okay.
And if we put a spot of brewing the beer.
Okay.
It will raise the brand awareness for the
Okay.
sponsorship.
Okay.
And then possibly it will lead, if they like the beer, of course, because we cannot push the people to take outside the gym, let's say, the beer, but if they like the beer, it's a potential to raise, I mean, their revenue outside the gym.
Okay.
But there is I think there is a good opportunity to introduce the beer towards that crowdy, let's say, big number of fans.
Okay. So imagine that even what you're saying is transformative, because you told me a few seconds ago that you have 1,000 people going to the stadium.
Yes.
And if you can tell me that from that 1,000 people, 85% are above 18 years old, that already have a potential number of customers of 800. Normally, a male will consume more beer than a female. It's not always the case. Sometimes
Yeah,
they
of
do
course.
way better than us. But it's the average. And if you tell me that from that 80%, 70% is male, that they consume an average of 3 beers per game, they have already a number.
Yeah.
And I can put a proposal on the table because it's a benefit from you, but it's also a benefit from me.
Yeah.
Different that I have fans. Okay? I have crazy fans that they will be dying for the beer company.
No, of course I agree. But when we sat down to discuss, we'll put things on the table and discuss the data based on what I will propose you. So yeah.
No, I agree,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
agree. But what I want you to keep in mind,
Yeah.
and with the survey that amazingly did just now, keep those numbers, have those numbers with you.
Yeah.
You
And
need to
sell
know
the
how many
numbers.
people. Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to know how many people you have. How many people are male? How many people are female? How many people are above 18 years old? How many people are above 30 years old? When you have 18 years old, maybe you want to drink 5 beers, but you pay 1. You pay 1.5 because you cannot pay the 5. But when you are 35, when you are 40 years old, maybe you are willing to pay not only beer, but hard alcohol. If it's illegal to sell alcohol in the sponsorship, it's a different conversation. If you're talking to a female brand and your club has the biggest number of girls supporting because you have been promoting the family, the conversation is the same but with totally different data. So the idea is that you have those numbers with you. Not that you need to memorize all those numbers, but if you happen to meet that person outside, that conversation will be way more valuable if you tell him, all my followers are this, and then I understand how this can be added value to you. Because we need to stop seeing sponsorship as a donor, as a person who's putting money because you are doing sport. This is not the case of sponsorship. It is a two-way communication. This needs to be added value for both sides. I'm putting money on your club for you to develop, yes, but how many beers I will sell? How many cars I will say if I put my logo with you? How many toys for kids I will say in Christmas if I'm sponsoring you in the end of the season? So those things needs to come from you because you are the one who will deliver that value. You cannot promise how many beers you will sell, but you can share all the information that I don't know from your club because I sell beer, or I sell toys, or I sell cars, or any other company that you go there. So now that you have that amazing opportunity that the first investment is coming from government taxes, all the legwork, all the value that you can add is from how to make sure that that investment is multiplied for them in sales, in recognition, in awareness, in income. And that's your role. It's not their role. They do their job of selling what they have to sell. And that's a role that you need to keep building, because once you are aware of that function, on that advisory role, on that you become the consultant from the partner of how they can invest better than money, you're not creating a donor, you're creating a partner. It's not only one way giving money for your club, but you're creating someone who will be continuously investing on you because this is beneficial for them. And of course, there are tangible ways of getting those benefits, which is return of investment, but there are also a lot of intangibles. The positive association with a basketball club, how we measure that. If you are doing something that nobody knows and then people connect you with a club, that is invaluable. If for people to recruit, for employees to have access to tickets, because if you're working in that company, they have a special program for They can buy tickets before anybody else. All these kind of things can build value for the sponsors, and this is, and again I will say this all day, this is your role. This needs to come from you, and to do that you need to understand what they do and how you can add value to them. A beer exercise is a simple one because we know they want to sell beer, but there are a lot of companies that their value or what they're doing in the market could be a bit more complex, and what you can add value, it could take more time to understand. But if you are actively thinking how this can be beneficial for them, believe me that the conversation and the relationship that you will have, not only with them, but with others that then will be fighting to be on your list, it's totally different, okay? So this is a mentality thing, this is a mindset up that when you are going to talk to sponsors, is how you will add value to them, not how much money you will take from them, okay? This is a very important way of doing the way of approaching this process, okay? So I think we're good with the example of understanding the fund. Then this is come a bit of a legwork of also to review what we can sell, okay? Here is a reference. I won't go in detail with this. You will receive this, and this is just for you to have some ideas. But do you know, and again, quick survey, do you know what you can sell from your club, that table? What you can sell. When beer example, I'm there and tell you, okay, I'm interested, you have 2,000 fans, few are male, what you can give me? Sorry?
About the potential sponsor, we're talking, or as the club? Okay.
Okay, I'm a potential sponsor. What you can offer me from your club? The beer company. Yeah, the beer company.
No, a different one.
Beer company. I'm still the beer company. I haven't changed business.
What can you offer? Like a space?
What you can offer?
Okay. In the past, we had, especially, we have to be honest, and this kind of mass public fan inside the arena, inside the arena is coming when we have the big games or the organization of the final 8 cups and stuff like that. In the past, we had those spots, special spot for the beers.
Yeah, draft.
Yeah, draft, and the fans were able to buy the beer and also the logos of the on those.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we had a special spot for selling the juice for the people who doesn't consume beer. They can take a juice to relax or water.
So basically, commercial display.
Yeah.
You can have a commercial display in your club. What else I could get from a potential partnership with you?
We're talking still with the beer company.
Yeah, still beer company.
Yeah, we also mentioned the space on the LID, and
LED,
we
okay.
already mentioned that yesterday. What else?
Advertising on the jersey.
Jersey, okay, good.
Or having them be the only beer at the stadium or arena.
Okay, exclusivity.
So.
Okay. Give to the fans.
Yeah.
Okay. What else in this table? Thank you. Thank you. What else? What you can offer for a beer company from your club?
They already mentioned.
So commercial display, LEDs, and space in the shirt, and gift.
Maybe also the minutes, seconds when in the TV advertising. Yeah.
TV advertising. Okay, we have 5. Not something there? Anything
Yeah.
else you could
Also
offer?
logo in tickets.
Logo in tickets. Okay. Something there you can offer? Nothing from the table. Nothing else. This is majority of the things. Here. Nothing new. Around there. What else?
It says reputation.
association. Positive association.
Okay, so
Okay,
what
okay,
they
very
say
important
to
one.
use the reputation of a player to promote the beer company.
Okay, yeah, that's a very, very
Yeah,
important one.
great idea.
That's a very important one.
Yeah.
And there are, of course, legal implications about how to do that, but it's always possible as long as you have a contract. Promote them. Perfect, and that's great. And again, all the answers
We
of
also had
sorry.
one suggestion from there to promote the logo on press conferences.
Friends conferences, okay? All of those that you mentioned are correct, but there are 100 more. There are a lot, and just here, it's just the answers are a bit behind me, but everything that you can do to push a brand will make sense, okay? So there is no right or wrong answer. The idea is that you sit and check what are all the options that you have within your possibilities to push a brand. And they are not only based on visibility. The majority, the 90% of what we hear today are focused on visibility. But what happened with a brand that everybody knows already? They are not looking for visibility. The logo there maybe is for the nice comfort of seeing your brand. But if everybody knows it, why I will need that? And this is a discussion that at FIBA we had 4 years ago with Nike. We were dying, yes, Nike, we will have Nike in the court. Nike told us like this, guys, everybody knows the swoosh. I don't need the swoosh in the court. And we were, yeah, we need the swoosh in the court because Nike will be there. Nike told us, no, I'm with you because I need to tell a story that I'm not able to tell. We are telling the story of the players. We have all the praise we want, but we cannot tell the story of the national team. And that's why we're working with you. And we need you to create those stories from national team perspective. Wow. So no swoosh in the court, yeah, you can keep the swoosh in the court, but it's not the most important thing. And very likely you will be speaking to brands that everybody knows. So maybe, just maybe, LED, big logo is not the most important thing. Maybe they need to give access to that VIP launch that we will create, because then they will have their distributors only inviting them and they will have a special experience there. Maybe they don't need even to put the logo there. They just need that special space with you. Maybe they are looking to have their kids, the kids of their workers in a special basketball camp where only you and your great coaches can have access to it. Or maybe if you bring one of your players to give a speech in their company to talk about leadership, you bring your captain, because your captain is known for being a great leader, and then you put them in a room with the leaders of that company, hearing how it's to build a successful team. People will pay for that. Managers will pay for that. But they will do it only if you are sponsor of the club. And we're not talking about any logo on any place. And again, all logos are good. Everything that you say are great. But they are good if the partner needs to see that logo there. But what if not? Think about it. How you can serve them without having the logo every place, because again, maybe it's a very popular brand. How, and there is no way that you can know all those answers without asking. You need to understand what you're doing. You need to understand what the managers want. The pressing, normally these decisions are made, 90% of the cases made of one person. And normally it's the president, the CEO of the company. The marketing manager, 10 to 20%. Normally, companies that are investing in sports is connected to the heart and the intentions of one person, the president. A male or a female. President could be any person who is willing to do it. But if you don't ask what they want, you cannot build that property or that asset that will make a difference for them. And again, here are some ideas. And I won't say that are basic or complex. It depends on you or how to do it. Because it could be that your partners are looking for visibility because they are new in town. It's a new brand. Or they are changing their name. They want everybody to know their name. If you can connect their objective with what you can deliver, it's a great success. Great success. Okay? And then you become a tool for them. And that is the idea. How you can become a tool for them, not only for the CEO or the president, but also for their goals to make sure that they are doing and they're using you in the best way possible to accomplish their commercial goals. That could be, again, sell more, being recognized, connect better with the fans. Maybe they have a reputation issue. Maybe they did something wrong in the past and they're working with you to fix that. You can help them to fix that. But maybe it's not putting a logo on the court. Maybe it's having, I don't know, I can imagine refurbish of the arena, or bringing kids to understand a special group of kids that they have no access to basketball, and you can provide a scholarship for them to be within basketball, and they don't pay the membership because that company is covering that membership. That story is powerful, could be powerful if you make it powerful for them. And that will be way more valuable than visibility things that, again, are not bad. Visibility is okay as long as the partner needs that visibility. And my invitation is that from now on, you think on visibility as the base. This is a commodity. It should be there. It is be there for us. It's important to see the logos there, to see a packed media backdrop with a lot of logos. That's very nice as a club. That I have the backdrop full of logos. I'm not saying that you need to remove those logos. You need to keep them there. That's very good. But think how each partner activates with you. So take your basis, which is everything that you can deliver, LED, media, ticket. If we go physical, you have some limitation. If you go digital, it could be even better. Digital, we talked about yesterday about the digital opportunities, about doing the sponsors. We saw yesterday in a post, I take your comment that you are going to the next step, but if you have all the logos there, they're very little. And if you're looking to have some visibility and to generate something with it, you're losing it. So select one, only one. You're seeing that in a phone. You cannot see all the line of logos. Select one, but select who connects better with MVP. And yesterday I saw you were announcing MVP and you had a chocolate partner. Maybe the MVP gets more chocolates because it's the guy who ate better. Make a connection out of it. And then make sure that the partner use it for them to sell more chocolates. Because there is a connection on the starting five, and everything that you talked about yesterday, there is always a way to connect it with a partner. Sometimes the connections are not very direct. You can be as creative as you want, but then build on it. Not only basketball stuff. We talked already, let me finish with this. We also thought yesterday about doing music stuff. Then if you have the playlist, the Spotify list of the player, and you have a disco being your sponsor, that's a perfect link between a place where people go together and the music that your player is listening. So those connections are important to create, and those won't be coming from the partner, will be coming from you. Please.
And to connect with the discussion, so the chocolate guy, the chocolate company, they were the only company who knew what they want except the logo.
Okay.
So this basis, everybody's. He asked me, said, okay, whatever you have match day, let me know because I'm bringing you chocolates, so all the staff there can eat chocolates. So
all
he
the
wanted
fans or all the staff?
No, I mean the staff. So it was on that ground. So
nice.
when we do the half time, the guests and so we gather to our office, and in 15 minutes we serve his chocolates. He was, but this is a minor thing maybe, but he was the only one who asked for me this. The others wanted just to put the logo because also this bring us to the place. Are the companies who are we attracting ready to ask for more than that? In this case, we have to be the guys who lead the
Yeah.
conversation and
Exactly.
tell them
Yes.
go deeper to what
Exactly.
we can prepare. But
And
Yeah.
please.
the chocolate story was the guy said, okay, I just want some chocolates on the table when you wherever you have a meeting or whatever you present or whatever you do. So this was the case.
It's a great example, and thank you for sharing, because on that one, if he knows already what he wants, you can build on that conversation. And you can ask him, okay, you want those chocolates there. Why? No, because I have my family that works with you, and I want them that feel happy that they have there. Okay, good. Then now your family will be always having access to something that nobody have access, like the training of the team this day. Okay. No, I want to do it because I play here when I was a kid, and I want I want to see my chocolates always in there, and I cannot give to all the fans, but I want to have it here. Okay, then when it's the next youth final, you give him all the visibility to him, because this will connect what he wants. And for you, it's as simple as have a new LED, giving him all the thing for a youth competition, which for you cost nothing, but for him it's the world, because he played for you when he was there. Again, I'm making that up, but it is conversations. And again, you cannot know those if you don't ask. So invitation here, when we say at the end of the day, your priority, make questions. All these people, and in your case, many of them are giving money like, okay, tax money, instead of paying to the government and giving to the club, great, that's a good start. But then start the conversation, thank you for that money, but how we can make that money work for you? How we make that investment a real investment and not a nice, I will sleep good with myself tonight because I gave X thousand euros to this basketball club, and they will do better than that the government will tax it. That's not the conversation to have. How that money will be properly invested from 1,000 euros, which are very valuable, to whatever hundreds that hopefully you will start making. Because when you start to make things like this, people will notice. Companies will notice. They will share each other that information that you are giving, that you are opening those conversations. Maybe sometimes they don't even know what they want. Very likely they won't know what they want. If you help them to know what they want based on your possibilities versus knowing your inventory, because you know what you can offer, you know what you can see. That's why it's always good to see other examples, to see what others are doing. This is very common to see these days after pandemic. Delivery companies are making a lot of money. Delivery companies are now, and this is very popular in many leagues, that they are giving the ball to the referee and they're coming in a motor, or they come with the bag where they take the things. This is a very nice and simple activation that connects with what they want. And again, this is a very basic and simple one, but it could start tomorrow because it costs you nothing to have that bag that they will provide and give the balls to the referee, and people connect the delivery with the guy in a special moment, talk to TV today, put the camera in the right place where the logo is visible, and the PA guy is not like you have to say blah, blah, blah. They say clearly the name and make a coupon of the people going to the stadium. All those things will make this guy to sell more. Why he will stop ever to be associated with you if you are adding value to them. So a way of adding the best value possible is to know exactly what you can offer. And you cannot sell something that you cannot offer VIP suites if your stadium doesn't have the suites. You cannot offer big backdrops if your stadium has a limitation or the spaces, internal spaces have a limitation on height. So you need to understand what are those possibilities. And again, this is just a list, very simple Excel sheet with everything that you can sell. Grassroots, players association, shirt, everything that is connected to visibility, that's one part, but experiences that nobody can access because if I go to your club, if I go to your club in the morning, I want to see the training, I want to speak to the coach, will you allow me? No, very likely no. I'm a regular person, I own a beer company, but I want to speak with the coach. No, it's the coach, he have a session, it is a routine. So how those things but again, before telling to the coach that you will start to sell his time to a potential partner, you speak to him, we are doing a program, you are a great person to do this, you can add value to our corporation, we want you to do a 20-minute speech with a group of managers. If he agrees, it's part of your inventory. And if you have issues, sorry, please.
Well, I was just going to add to that. I think with your inventory, there's ones that cost you something. So tickets, there is a cost to you of that, or an opportunity cost, or advertising or whatever. But then the examples Gustavo is giving of money can't buy experiences. So going behind the scenes with the coach, or having the president's kid bring out the ball, something like that, it costs you nothing. But to them, they
It's a world.
can't buy that. So it means a lot. So it's
Being on the training session.
Yeah.
I just saw one club that I love this activation. They gave to the kids of the company the chance to be in the locker room hearing what the coach will tell to the players. I thought that was a dangerous one because the coach can say great stuff or not great stuff, but they love it. And the company was very happy with that money invested because these kids, which are potential basketball players, will have for the first time their experience of see a pro coach telling things to a pro player. For you, it's granted because you were there, you opened the door and you are there. But for all your fans, that is the world. And that has a value. And if you build that value and you have a nice locker room and you have a nice coach that he's aware of it and you involve the team on it, then you are sharing the benefits of it with the team, of course, then you have a positive building on how that relationship could work. And again, this is just crazy idea from a guy. Again, first time I heard this, that the kid is listening what the coach is giving there. But he secured the money and the guy was super happy with it. And I respect it. They said, very nice example. I'm not sure if I will do that with another company, but I love it. And I keep saying it because he's super proud of an idea that is very simple, cost him zero, just need to open 2 doors to do that, and people is willing to pay good money. And again, in this case, not even pay good money. It's the investment that's come from the government and everything that we said from the beginning. So think on all of those things. Share with others. Share with other clubs. Ask how you're doing with this. I have a company that they sell, I don't know, chairs. How I can do better with chairs? What I can do? Oh, we have those chairs which are very weird, but those are in the bench. Oh, now the bench is not the typical chair, it's a different chair, but now we place more chairs, so if the players are there, they can see also the other chairs, because if you see players, they're huge, they do never see where they're sitting from, but maybe how you can show the chair, there are other ways. There are always different ways, because again, I'm not talking about a logo, I'm talking about a product. This is product display. There are many, many ways to do that. But again, it is important to understand what they want, and for you, what you have available. So that's why building your inventory, which again, it will not always be the same. You need to be as creative as possible. This is what I suggest is that every start of the season, you check what you can do, but in the middle of the season, check again what you can offer. Finish the season, check what you can offer. Things will start to flow. When you start to think on what we discussed today, I'm sure if we speak tomorrow, you will have 100 ideas. And that needs to come from you when, next time you speak to a potential investor. So this is a bunch of other ideas of areas where you can sell. You can sell things related to the game day. We spoke a lot about that. Social media is very clear. We won't go in detail about it. Digital video content, this is more on building assets. What we spoke about yesterday about you don't need a big crew to film. You just check few things. Maybe that coach talk, you start to film it and then you sell it as an asset. Maybe it's just the birthday celebration of the guy, how they sing happy birthday in among the team for a special player, and you record that, and then so those are behind the scenes moments in the club that nobody have access, and you can post it, and that will have a better engagement, and because of that engagement, a partner can put money on it, and they can get benefit from it, because that company sells cakes, and then how you connect the birthday with the cake and the best cake that they have, and then you provide to all the players every time there is a birthday, you will have a free cake. And it's always the same cake, which is a special cake because they have a nice design. Again, these examples we can be days and days talking about each of the brands. So first, you need to understand what you can do, but also understanding what are those target companies. You remember when we spoke about location. What are those companies that are close to you? You don't need to go to Nike, who is Portland in the US. If you have a great company 2 blocks from you, go there, knock their door. Probably their kids are already playing in your club. How you can take advantage of it, not only to get the money, because again, we're taking the money to develop the club, but also for them to be not only associated, but enjoying the relationship with you. So branding, that's what everybody knows here. We have a salon full of branding experts. We have great examples about branding. Designations, this is more like FIBA example, it's MVP, it belongs to TISO, buzzer beaters, this type of things that happen that can be connected to a partner, and then the name, it is the name of the brand is connected to that moment. Could be basketball related, could be outside the basketball, could be on court or off court, totally open. Trademarks, things that you are building, like let's say that your academy has, you are very well known for produce talent and players, and then the academy has some recognition because of what you are doing. Then that is a trademark, so the academy has a name, and then you can sell that name or that trademark to a partner. Okay? Title sponsorship, this we know very well. Hospitality and tickets, I think we discussed in detail. Signage, everything that could be going to the stadium, and everything that could be connected to how people direct themselves on it. It is, again, a bit more of visibility and branding. Player endorsement, very important. This is what was mentioned in that table. Very important to have a good relationship with your players and offer that as a platform. Our advice is always to work with a group of players, not always focusing on one, because that could become a legal issue, and always be transparent. What are the benefits? How that player also can be benefit from it, because sometimes they don't know. They feel that they are just adding more work for them. But then if you are building a star, and if that star is being that profile that you want to construct within your community and your society, all those elements are very important for the player, and you need to explain to them. You need to involve them in the process. And finally, Csr.
I'm just thinking it's almost break time, and didn't we have one little exercise we wanted to do before the break? So I wonder.
In the audit inventory, just no, we have until 45.
Yes, we've got kind of 15 minutes. Yeah.
So about the audit inventory, that's what you know, what you can sell. It is very important. These are just examples. It is very important to understand how much it will cost you. Okay? It is not the same to give VIP access, which will cost you a nice meal, a person there, and a nice seat, and maybe a refurbish of an area, than putting an LED, which you just need to pay the LED system. It's just a very different. If the LED you receive, which is the case I understand here, then the cost of sale is very different from the VIP to the other one. So if the cost of doing the mascot, it is very different from the cost of doing the logo on ticket. So it is very important once you have that inventory to understand that cost of sale. And that recommendation, because at the end of the day, the big question is how I will sell A or B. So then we will go to, we will share that the best thing is to do packages. So you can mix high value things with lower value or perceived value, because remember that depends on what they want. And there is an advice when, for the first time you're selling a ride, that normally, and again, this is just a reference, it's not a law, and this is just a recommendation, your cost of sales should be 10 to 15% of the value that you are selling. So if, for example, the VIP ticket, it costs you $100 per person to be there, technically you should be selling that ticket for $1,000, technically. Sometimes that rule doesn't apply because you are looking for other things and you're not looking to make huge money, and then the ticket is higher, or you want to decrease the price, that's okay. But when it's the first time that you're going to sell, it's a good reference to start. How much it will cost you to produce the uniforms, how much it will cost you to have the academy rebranded, how much it will cost you to have that beer in that space, because you need to put more electric power, or you need to change something in the stadium, if that will cost you to deliver something. It's very important to know it, because at the end of the day, you need to receive more money than what you're costing, but with a nice range. If it costs you to hire someone for it, make sure that you are aware of it. Then finally, on this one, I'll be very quick. And again, after you have the inventory and after you have the cost of sale, then how to regroup your partners, it is very important. We have a very good example here. with the partners of the federation. You have a general sponsor, but then you have a golden sponsor, then you have a silver sponsor. They have different packages. And this is how the value is perceived. So it is very important that you create solutions and you have a consistency between what a partner can do and what another partner can do. It is a trend in our industry to, because you pay me more, I give you bigger logo. No, logos could be all the same. What I can give you is better access, more tickets, more information, other things. But logos in different sizes is not the best way to differentiate what they do. But of course, they need to be treated differently in the way of rights delivered, not in a way that you treat better one than the other. You need to treat all your partners well, because the one that today is the silver sponsor could be easily tomorrow a golden sponsor, and that always will depend on you. Okay? So the idea is that you have that. This is a very basic way. In FIBA, we have a more flat, because we don't have this pyramidal approach. But for clubs, it is very well known, and it's in the experience, clubs with pyramidal approaches works way better, because you have this interesting competition to improve the level, and then depending on the assets that you build, you can play with the value. Whereas for us, where we have just many events together, we don't have this on weekly and activity or monthly activity. For us, we had a flat approach. All partners most likely pay the same, and they have a base of rights, and then we have a specific sole and exclusive right for each of the partners. So what we offer for each of them at the end is very different. Okay? So this is the exercise. Let's do this before going to the break. We have Calvia Stormers. Okay? This is a club. This is a club number 10 in the Super League, new club. So Calvia Stormers is based in the capital, and the capital has a population of 300,000. How many people is in Pristina? Less? 800. So this is a very small capital from another country that they're playing here. The stadium has a capacity of 2,500 people, more or less, okay, full capacity. And let's think for a moment, there is no pandemic. We can fill the stadium full, okay? But the average attendance is 1,500, okay? Not in Final 8, not in the big derby, clásicos, but in the moment of, normally 1,500. We play 11 home games per season. It's a short season, okay? Let's say that it's affected by the calendar adjusted. Last season, finished third. So they didn't make it to the final. They lost in the final four. We have Alexi Lajo, came from US, was the league MVP season last season. So we were third, but we had the best player. And 3 of their home games were shown live on national TV last season. So not all of them, 3 games. Okay? All clear? Yeah, we will all know Calvia. Blue and red are the colors. So your work is that you work in the marketing department of Calvia. So you are the marketing person from the Stormers. And in your group, you need list all the assets that you will sell to your sponsor on a game day. Consider what we spoke today, okay? Think about both and inside and out the arena, and then build up for the tip-off. So think what you can sell based on what you are doing as a club, okay? It's clear?
Yeah, do it in the tables, 5 minutes, just a quick
so
5 minutes.
Each table
brain
could
dump.
have an answer.
And we'll do a 5-minute restitution and then coffee.
Go for go.
Yeah, because time
Yes.
is actually... I think they're probably ready for the coffee break. Is that
Sorry?
They look like they're ready for coffee break time.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Let's see that each table presents, and then we...
Is it all clear enough? Yeah. All clear?
Game day. Focus on game day. Inside the arena, outside the arena. But game
Clear
day.
enough? Yeah.
let's keep with the
Take
beer.
the beer company.
Take the beer
maybe.
company. We have been
Yeah.
speaking about the beer company all day. Think on the beer company.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't limit. The idea is not to limit you. Think on, like, we're in inventory mode, okay? Not on sales mode. Sales mode will be later. This is inventory mode. Everything that you think that could be added
Okay.
value
No, but everybody can do the beer
for a
company.
company.
It's okay. You got some ideas? Yeah. I can't scroll down the slides without them going on the screen, can I?
I
No.
think there is a button to do that, but I don't know which
Which
one.
button? Okay.
Florian will tell us now. Yeah, yeah. Nexus is really nice.
Guess about CSR consulting, is it not a bit multi-grouping, probably.
Eventually, and I've seen what I've read about big companies here. There are not many big producers. They make a lot of. They have minerals, but they export it. They have service companies, but they are service companies that are also in Macedonia, in Albania, and they are They are not here headquartered or nothing. So you see the smalls with all these brands, but all of them are just distributors. So it is less obvious.
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah, the day I arrived, I asked the marketing guy who said to me to the airport, what's the biggest industry here? He wasn't able to say.
Yeah,
He's
it's
the marketing guy, so I was like, yeah.
We have 2 minutes. Please. Don't think in selling, think in inventory. Okay, we could do A, B, C, D. Imagine that then after I tell you an objective, then we narrow down that. So this is the moment of different things. Good. You finish the list here? You're on the way. How's the list ongoing here? You're done? Okay. It's long list? Okay, let's see here. You finish here? Okay. Here, finished? Yes? Good. I think we're ready?
Yeah, I can write them if
Okay,
you want.
thank you. Okay, let's start. Left. What are the assets that you look to do on the game day? Please. Sorry? Ah, okay. He would say and then
Minutat e marketingut në të dhe të cenzorit, promovimi i produktit në ditën e ndeshjes.
So he says that what they will offer to their sponsor are marketing minutes on TV.
Marketing minutes on TV.
Promovimi i produkteve në ditën e ndeshjes.
They will promote their product on game day.
Okay, how?
Vizita.
How is the game day promotion? It's minutes on TV.
Or in the stadium, in the arena.
It depends what is the product. For example, if it's a drink, they will share drinks. Yeah.
With give me examples.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a snack, they will give snacks.
Okay, so
Okay.
sampling.
Commercial
Fans,
display.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say commercial display. Okay.
Vizita në kompani me imazhet klubit.
So they will also visit the company and promote the reputation of the club.
Okay. How?
Okay.
Okay, so on the game day, they will visit the company and give gifts like a jersey.
Okay.
On actual game
yeah,
day, the
actual game day.
company, that might be tricky, but let's keep it because it's still a good idea, but maybe just not for game
Game
day.
day. Yeah. Maybe gifts for the company when they come to the game.
When they come to the game, exactly.
Edhe vendosja e logos kompanisë në
Is that it?
tiketë dhe thirrje recepcion.
Okay, so they also say the placement of logo on tickets
Logo on tickets.
and social media as well.
Okay.
Logo visibility. Visibility, logo on tickets and media. Good. Thank you.
Great.
Here.
So we used the pyramidal scheme that you also mentioned. We did 3 levels of sponsors, so gold, silver, and bronze. The gold sponsors would have their logo visible in almost everything we could make it visible on. So such as tickets, our jersey, LEDs, court stickers, and TV minutes and social media. The silver sponsors would have a less visible logo, but still visible enough, such as the LEDs, courts, and tickets, but not the jerseys, and they wouldn't have as much TV minutes as the gold ones.
Okay.
And the bronze ones would have just the LEDs and social media with tickets.
Okay.
The way we would sell the product, I guess, to the sponsors is by giving them the data we have on our average attendance, the demographics and the diversity of the attendance, and the way that last season ended in this case, we got 3rd place, but we still have the best player in the league.
Okay.
We still have room to compete, and maybe we will grow this season. The attendance will get higher, because the games will be close, and we also have a chance on winning the league. So
Okay.
the city will be more interested.
Okay.
Great. And
Good.
the architecture, I think, is superb. So thinking in that way, and also the message to sponsors. And actually, later after the break, we'll be putting a presentation together. So those thoughts will be
Are
really
very good.
useful.
Let's go to this
Yeah.
table.
Thank you. As a first point, we would like to have a photo shooting with the MVP, with the booth
Great. You're using
of the sponsors as a backstage while delivering the prize.
MVP photo shoot. Good.
Okay.
You're using MVP. It's good.
Product spots for promoting the products, let's say for the sponsors.
Yeah.
In the physical.
Yeah,
Commercial
physical.
display.
So, yeah.
Commercial display, yeah.
Commercial display.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the others are common, such as add logos on the floor and on a LED system, logos on sportive clothes of the team,
Okay.
and promoting the sponsors during the game from the side of official speaker in arena.
Okay.
Great.
PA speaker. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and together with the sponsor to build the sponsor's slogan to promote it during the game. So motto of the sponsor.
Okay.
So this
Okay,
is
so they're,
our
yeah,
list. Yeah.
sponsors, strapline, or
Yeah.
great. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like that you use the MVP, which is good from what we talk, and then yeah, we will continue with the wrap up.
This
Next
table?
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carrying on with the MVP,
Okay.
we was thinking about maybe having a short advert or commercial depending on the product. So
Okay.
it could be a drink that has electrolytes, and when he's training and he's tired, he could probably drink.
Connect the MVP with the cup.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the energy.
Use the
so,
MVP. That's it.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
endorsements. Yeah.
Um, pretty much everything's been said, but like halftime events, maybe someone can win the product.
Good idea.
Depending on the product again, maybe all ages can drink or maybe eat it, so you can win, you can get profit from it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
good one.
yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
about it.
super. Thank you.
That's good.
This first one is we think that outside the gym,
Okay.
involving fans with a fan zone.
Fancy, okay.
We have a fan zone, and then we can adjust it to the sponsor and sell it, then go down with the product and promotion and everything what has to do. So fan engagement, and then inside we can use a food court for promoting and selling this idea to the sponsor.
Yeah,
Depend
depends
on
on
the
the brand.
brand.
Yeah, that's clear.
And
Exercise was not to sell.
the halftime show would be a interesting moment for like selling as a
Okay,
storytelling.
halftime show.
Halftime.
This
Good.
is
Good.
it.
No, very good. We go to the break. Is that it is very important that you are aware of what you have. And maybe just one example of something that nobody mentions, that you have 1,000 spaces in your stadium in average available. So maybe there was a space to do something. We don't know if it's a beer company, if it's for kids, if it's something for massive consumption, but you had space. So that's an inventory that you have available. So being aware of that space and think on how to sell it, of course, after you know the brand, it's very important. So that's why this audit inventory exercise is very important to do it constantly and to always check what you can add to this list. There are a few ideas that will be more expensive than others, but add them. Have your library of inventory of the things that you could sell. Again, this is just one example. Everything that you said on site makes totally sense, but needs to be, I would say, worked from your constant review on what is possible within your stadium, within your fans, in your conditions, within your data, and everything that you have available to build the best adaptation and the best proposal for a potential sponsor. Maybe that company that came with the money already, but then you are able to build the package depending on that type of investment, depending on the brand, and depending on what they're doing. Okay, so that's idea.
Time out?
Yeah,
Tea
we are
break?
ready. Yeah, we're ready to break. This is the first part of morning session.
Yeah. So 15 minutes, it's 10 to 11, so back here at 5 past 11, please. Thank you.